Imagine that you're an archer and you're shooting your bow far into the heavens to see where it's going to go, and you won't hesitate to go after it and stop it. You know your path of expansion is a wild race goose chase, but if you can put in the determination to go after what you desire, a lot can happen in your life. That optimistic, philosophical, adventurous spirit is key and critical when we're talking about the full moon in Sagittarius occurring on May 23rd. I want to walk you through the astrology of May 22nd and 23rd of this year so that you can better understand what is going on these couple of days, beginning with May 22nd. So, what's going on, first of all? The very first thing that we have going on is the sun is going to be forming a harmonious trine to Pluto. This means a lot of very valuable things. The very first thing of which this is about is it is about deeply feeling very deeply driven to investigate things, to research things, to find the true answers to things, to dig below the surface and find out what is really going on beneath the gold, beneath the shiny trinkets of what lies around in store of life. Where we can see this is the person's deep inner self. We're seeing within people, not what the ego presents on the outside with your cute little outfits and all those kind of things like that, but what is really present of who you truly are, the soul of who you are. This is what this is about. This is about getting to the bottom note of any matter. This is also a time to harness your power, to use your power and not abuse your power, and use it in the best of ways. This is what this is about. You can experience and undergo powerful transformations in your own individual life, where these transformations can be elucent and where they can be translucent, where they're useful and where they're useless. Where they are assets or where they are reliabilities or allies, whatever opposition that you fall on that spectrum scale on being. So, um, this represents any dramatic change that you may be going through in your life. This is also a time to clear away the clutter from your environment, to purge your belongings, to get rid of what no longer holds water for you, what no longer holds space for you, and what you no longer need because you are a changing, evolving human soul being. This is also good for studying complex fields like astrology, science, quantum physics, all of these kind of things can be a major laser focus point at this time. This is not also the time to jump to conclusions. This is not the time to jump to conclusions because details may be unclear. You may not see things for how they actually are. So you want to weigh out all the pros and cons. You want to see all the details of a situation before you simply just jump to, oh, this is what it is. You want to go deep. You want to investigate it. Your focus may be more acute and finely tuned at this time. This is good for booting up your career, really getting into your career side and schedulings, and really getting to the meat and work of the matter, and using your power in your work environment for the best sense, and using the committed, I'm going to drive to the end of the desert energy of Scorpio to get whatever work that you need to get done. The moon will also oppose Uranus. So the moon is in Scorpio, Uranus is in Taurus. So this brings about emotional detachment. That's the very, very first thing. You're feeling cut off from the people around you. You're feeling like you're living on a higher playing field, a higher level. You're seeing things from a bigger perspective. There's a sudden impulsive need that you feel for change, a feeling that you need and desire and crave change in your own life. So this sudden need for change is super important. where the change can be a good change or not so good of a change. Um, Mood swings can also be a possible side effect with this. Is you're having mood swings, you're having bouts of whatever may be in the running for what you're experiencing. This may not be a good time to make major changes in your life because details may be unclear, you may be impulsive. Flexibility and adaptability are key themes here, of being and embodying these particular things. You may feel more reactive at this time, so be careful of that. Be careful to respond rather than react to situations. And you may not follow your intuition. Instead, you act on your impulses and you're not allowing your inner wisdom, your inner voice to guide you. I pulled an oracle card from a specific in looking for what could be in the making, in the handy. So let's reveal what the oracle gave to us today. So this particular card is a card called Perseverance, and this is from Sonia Chiquette's oracle deck. Ask Your Guides. This is from Astro Guides Oracle by Sonia Chiquette. So this is the card Perseverance. Which this is what this is the focus of May 22nd. So this is about persevering through whatever challenges you're facing, not giving up, commitment to your dreams and your visions for what you want to create as actual, tangible, physical, real things in your life. It's important to create successful creations and appreciate the things that you've already created. Appreciate the wonderful things that have happened in your life and the beautiful, successful outcomes of what has actually occurred, of what you've actually done in the past. Seeing the value of these things can really take you far along the way of Rodian's go. And so you need to know what makes them possible, what makes your creations possible, and look at the things that you've already succeeded in accomplishing. Some things make more time taking in the world of Sims, and other things might take a very short time. But things take time. In order for you to get what you want, it is going to take some time to put in the work in and have a lot of patience for that particular thing to come to fruition. And it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to fail. It's better to fail and try than not to try at all, as the saying goes. So it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to be messy. It's all part of the process. Make a mess, clean it up later. Now we're moving on to May 23rd. There's a lot happening on this particular day. The first thing that's happening is we have the full moon in Sagittarius. So this is the time to face your fears that help you to grow. Because of the fears that you faced, those fears are not holding you back. You're facing your fears and you're growing as an individual. This is about taking a risk also. Whatever risk that you want to take, now's the time to take it. Now's the time to be brave and take that risk. Under full moon's energy, things may be illuminated. Things may be brought to the surface, brought to light. Things you may find more clarity with things. You're more emotional about certain aspects of your life. Whatever house this full moon falls in for you and your ascendant sign. Sagittarius always wants to learn, grow, and explore. That's its rudimentary dictables. It's about the exploration of the soul, the exploration of the mind, the higher mind is what Sagittarius is about. It's a globe trekker energy that wants to travel and experience new things. So it's not a good time to put yourself in mundane and boring routines. It's good to change things up in your life. It's good to go on adventures. It's good to expand your mind and expand your horizons and expand your life in general. If you're stuck doing the same things, it's time to break out of that and do new things. Read something very interesting. Watch that show about an interesting topic that you're interested in. Travel to that new town that you've thought of going to if you have free time. Make the time if you don't have free time. Say, guess what? I am embodying the Sagittarian energy and I am taking a day off work in order to embody this energy and go to a town that is expanding my mind because it is critical for Sagittarian energy for expansion. Guilt-free cards to do this. Guilt-free cards to liberate yourself and set yourself free. It actually takes you embodying the actions. It actually takes you acting out of the energies that are discussed on these videos for the meaning to truly come in place. Now, Sagittarius is all about new perspectives, gaining new perspectives on life. It's good to take chances and make mistakes even if you don't know the outcome of what you are doing. Seeing situations from a higher perspective is critical here. It's about learning from your fears and being willing to face your fears head on. It's important to evaluate if fear is blocking your intuition or not, because you may confuse your intuition with fear and your insecurities. But follow your intuition because it may point you to a road less traveled by. It may point you to the right direction that may be unfamiliar, it may be different, it may be uncomfortable, it may be scary, it may be overwhelming, but it's the right path because it feels intuitively right. So go on that path. Um, so it's important new to in Divento not deplete your energy, to keep your energy high at this particular point in time. That becomes super important when we're talking about the Sagittarian energy. Sagittarius is a freedom-loving sign, as we know. And it's a sign that is very, very high energy and very fiery. That's what this is about. So it's best to think positive as best as you can, to have a positive outlook on life, to have a positive mindset with whatever affair or contemplation that you're moving into. It's important to be positive minded, see the good in situations. You can live your life with everything as a miracle or nothing as a miracle. You can go through life wallowing in negativity, or you can choose to see in the situation what is good, no matter how tainted it is. Um, the fact that you have books or oracle cards at all, even if you feel you tainted them, is worth considering. So Gemini and Sagittarius is the learning axis of the zodiac. It's about learning new things and things that affect or shift our perspectives. That's really what this is about, because when you learn something new, your viewpoint on the world is impacted. Your outlook on the world is put de mastecitos. Your viewpoints in your life becomes emulated in what you decide to look at because of the information that you choose to engage in at certain times. And it may make you think and may make you view your life in a different way. So, both Gemini and Sagittarius have a carnate interest in learning. They are always on the move for new information. They're always on the outlook for new info. They are always wanting to expand their horizons. Gemini scans the environment and looks for details. That's what it does. It finds information. It wants to find the littlest details of information. It wants to collect data. That's what Gemini is. It gets interested in even considering a natal chart in your room and digging into that. A bottle in the shower of soap and shampoo. It becomes interested in that. These little things. Versatile is a very versatile energy. That's what versatile is. It's an energy of being open to learning anything that you find interesting and anything that you find in your environment. Oh, there's a lamp. I want to learn about lamps. Oh, there's a music book. I want to learn about music. That's the kind of energy that Gemini is. It's on a whim, on a dim, on a dime, instant interest, instant curiosity. It's not picky. It's open to anything and everything. Now that can be a downfall because that can be the case where um we have Gemini not focusing on a particular area and only skimming the surface when it comes to learning information and not digging deeper into what is actually the rudimentary causes of this particular information. So, are you willing to acknowledge the information we learn or not? Will you acknowledge the information? In the low vibration of Gemini energy, we can't see the forest for the trees. We get caught in the little details of things. Sagittarius says, hey, Gemini, let's expand, let's broaden our horizons. So, Gemini can get sort of caught in the weeds of these little details and caught in the minutiae of things. Sagittarius is much more wide and big and global international scaling of deductibles. That's what Sagittarius is. Um, New ideas of understanding can open up for us in our own individual lives and our collective lives as well. In Sagittarius, be open to question things. Why are things the way they are? Why is life the way we live? What is my sole purpose of why I came here and incarnated on this planet? Asking these really big questions is what Sagittarius energy invites us to do and to explore. On the downside of Sagittarius energy, we are biased, we are unopen to learning new things, we become dogmatic, we become very opinionated, stuck and rigid in our point of view and our experiences, that we're not willing to open up to other people's perspectives and experiences of their own lives. We project our viewpoints and we preach to others how they should go about their life. Um, you know, if you're saying to somebody, and it's important for Sagittarius energy, for Sagittarius South Node, in any Sagittarius placement, Chiron in Sagittarius, Saturn in Sagittarius, it's important to offer advice only when the person is open to receiving the advice. Don't just preach and give advice if it's uninvited and unannounced. If the person asks for advice, they want to receive guidance. But don't just tell others how to live their lives if they didn't ask for the advice. That's a really critical lesson for Sagittarius energy to learn. It's okay to shut the advice down. It's okay to say don't go there. It's okay to reject the advice entirely if you didn't ask for it in the first place. If you ask for advice, be open to receiving the advice. Be open to considering suggestions that people give you. So people become very defensive when Sagittarius preaches to others and tells others how to live their lives. People become argumentative, and it is natural, and I say embrace it. Express what you feel naturally. Respond to what your natural feelings sort of tell you is how you feel this thing to be. Um, if it is just uncalled for, out of the blue, sudden, unexpected, random, non-divine timing, time for a person to give advice. Um, so, we need to not project our viewpoints onto others, especially if it's, when it's, uninvited, when the person didn't ask for it. So that's critical for us to understand. Venus is sextiling Neptune. So Venus is in Taurus. Neptune's in Pisces. So when Venus and Neptune are sextiling, we can have passionate sexual relations. Sensitivity and compassion in relationships is a very, very big theme here. We become more sensitive to the people around us. We become more kind of some to the people around us. Any artistic or creative endeavor could thrive now. So anything that created painting, sculpture, music, paper making, dice making, lamp making, um, pencil making, whatever is a creative field that you can get yourself into, that you can dig your teeth into, that you can really bite down into, metaphorically speaking, figuratively speaking. Now's the time to do that. Neptune also rules images, films, and movies. So screens, maybe talking into a webcam, maybe making a video like I'm doing right now, can thrive under this influence. This is a good time for watching movies also. Um, and so intuitive activities are stimulated. You're feeling more intuitive. This is good for any creative or spontaneous act of any kind. You may be more attuned to your own inner world and in the inner world of other people. You may be more attuned to what they're experiencing, to what they're feeling, to what they are going through in their own personal journeys of life. And forming new relationships is beautiful to do at this time, because it gives you the sensitivity and the compassion to understand that person and connect with that person on a deep level. That's why this Neptune sextile Venus is so good for relationships. Venus is also going to be conjunct the great benefic of astrology, the planet Jupiter. And so Jupiter is the planet of expansion and abundance. So when Venus, the planet of love and relationship, conjuncts this positive, uplifting energy, we can find more love and harmony and happiness in our own individual lives. And we're feeling all these things at a deeper level. Um, this is the time to enjoy the positive consequences of your hard work. Whatever hard work that you put in the past, now is the time where that may bear the fruit that you planted in your tree. So enjoying positive karma, the positive rewards for your hard work, and it's good to enjoy these things. It's good to pat yourself on the back and sit and enjoy life at this time. This presents great opportunities for growth and happiness. This is what this presents. Growth and happiness is a major theme here. And relationships are a huge focus right now. Investments should make a profit, especially if the arts are involved. The moon will also oppose Jupiter, so it's very, very critical right now not to be taken advantage of, not to lower your standards in relationships. It's important to be open about your feelings, be emotionally honest about your feelings. This can cause problems with mothers and crusaders. There can be difficulties with control and addiction that can come about. You may find it difficult to moderate what you find pleasurable in life. You might want to hog down and low down it. Engage in that thing to battle's end, to where there's no off button, there's no stop sign, there's no limit on what you're doing to keep yourself moving and alive and kicking and enjoying life. So we really, really need to not overdo a particular thing in our lives. We may be feeling out of sorts. We may be feeling emotional upsets. We may be feeling overexposed later. Our guard is lower, that we may be feeling, we're not guarded, we're more open, we're more like an open book where people can just write in us and take advantage of us and um and and just spill out and vent their whole life story to us, let's just say. The moon will also oppose Venus. So when the moon is opposite Venus, it may be harder to feel and engage with love and warmth and tenderness. These things might be more difficult because Venus is afflicted. It is in a negative aspect. It is affected negatively. So therefore, if the moon is opposing Venus, the negative qualities of Venus can be highlighted here. So there's a lack of love and tenderness at this time. To be very good in Monday, I must say so myself. So there can be differences in relationships. There can be struggles in relationship that may come about. There may be disagreement or a schism in your relationship. It's important not to lower your standards in relationship. Because you just feel like you just want anyone to connect to, anyone at all is fine, so therefore you lower your standards. You may find that you have more self-love and acceptance for yourself and others. It's important to face the difficulties in relationships that may come about at this time and establish long-term relationships. The moon will also oppose Pluto. So it's important to know how you feel about someone and how they feel about you. Any dreaming or meditation and contemplation can thrive right now. Meeting someone who has a profound influence and transformative influence on your life and allowing them to transform you and evolve you into the person that you're meant to be is critical now. You may also have greater control over your subconscious, and you have powerful instincts and intuition at this time. Jupiter will sextile Neptune. So this brings about good fortune and growth. So Jupiter's in Taurus, Neptune's in Pisces. So it brings about the conversation of spiritual philosophy or religious beliefs. It's important to grow spiritually while not throwing away your material possessions. This is super important. Your intuition can be stronger at this time. And are you seeing people for who they actually are, or are you seeing them for who you fantasize them to be? We're only seeing a certain side of them, not seeing the full part of who they are, the full person of who they are. This is good for any spiritual growth or healing work, knowing that even the smallest contribution that you make can make a big impact. Donating food to a certain company, ripping up papers and throwing them in the trash, throwing out bananas that are no longer available, holding the door open for somebody. These small deeds and acts of kindness and generosity and care and understanding can be very, very well in the handy of life, I must say so. So it's good to volunteer your time and your skills. It's good to publicize your ideas, make your ideas public and known and, out there. And so are you actually manifesting your visions in reality, or are they pipe dreams? Now's the time to evaluate them. The final thing that we need to talk about here is that Venus will enter Gemini. I have Venus in Gemini, so this is my Venus return at this particular point in time. So this brings about stimulation of the mind and senses. Your mind is more stimulated. Communication with others and having conversations and relationships becomes a major focus with this. Your love becomes more intellectual. Love's become more mental. Venus in Gemini really wants to swim in a sea of variety. It doesn't want the same things. It wants variety, spontaneity, excitement, newness, novelty. These are all Geminian things of what they want and what they desire and what they need. So, intellectual topics of discussion can become a major focus here. Getting to know people on a deeper level is also something too with this. It's important we thrive connection in having intellectually based conversations with others, learning from others, and seeing the world from new perspectives, considering, oh, I didn't want to live the way that these people live, but I find that really interesting that these people live in a submarine. Or I find that really interesting that this person walks backwards on the sidewalk. These types of unique things where we're unbiased, we're just open. We're just open. We're just curious to learn and to really and truly discover new ways of that people live their lives. So, Venus and Gemini must be intellectually stimulated in relationships. That is critical. Venus and Gemini can be playful, but it can also be two-faced, saying that, having duality, saying this one thing to this person, saying one thing to the other person. And it's all dependent on a spectrum that you fall on. I fall very, you know, low or high on that spectrum. I'm certainly not in the midst of it. But there is this need to be dual, because Gemini rules the twins. You're, very dual about things in your life. And it can be where you're sort of, going back and forth between different things. Communication is key with this. This is a good time to have fun and celebrate life. Any kind of lightheartedness is super critical to experience. This is also good for making new friends also. Gemini is fast and spontaneous. It's also very fickle energy. This is a good time to bond with others over shared interests also. So the card that I pulled for May 23rd is the card Pleasure, as you can see here. So pleasure is a message from the Joy Guides, and the first card that I chose, the one for May 22nd, is a message from the Joy Guides also. So let's talk about this. Now is the time to relax, have fun, and enjoy life, whatever that might be for you. Allowing yourself to kick up your feet, going to those newspapers, going to that kitchen, going to that movie theater, and enjoying the fun out of life, relaxing in your life. So it's important not to reject or move away from the beauty and abundance that you have in your life, but rather take advantage of it and enjoy all that you have in your life to enjoy. Now's the time to do things to where you can experience more contentment and peace of mind also. This is about releasing pain and suffering and experiencing joy and pleasure, whatever that may be for you. Is it gardening? Is it cooking? Is it writing something? Is it playing a game? Whatever brings you joy. Is it singing a song? Whatever brings you that positive fulfillment in your life. It's also good to write down and voice things out loud that you love. For example, I love astrology. I love nature. I love reading. I love my oracle cards. I love my stuffed animals that I have. I love my mom. I love good food. All these things that we can list out that we love, that we are very passionate about. Writing them down or voicing them can really open up the heart chakra wide open for us in positive and profound ways. So that's what I recommend that you do at this time. So that is it, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to this astrology update for May 22nd and 23rd. You can click the like button, you can subscribe, you can hit the notification bell, and you can tune in for the next video to come. Bye, everyone, for now.